At Tzu Chi's first distribution in Bago Province, farmers are confident in Tzu Chi's rice seeds quality. Nurses fund a training institute rekindle initial aspirations for medical exchange at Tzu Chi Dialysis Center. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Sue. Thank you for joining us. In Myanmar, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to distribute rice seeds to affected farmers. At the first rice seed distribution in Bago Province, many farmers expressed their gratitude for Tzu Chi. Taking off their shoes and socks, the volunteers followed the traditional costume to enter the temple barefooted. They're conducting the first rice seed distribution in Bago Province. The farmer, whose skin is quite tan, is beaming with smiles, as he's very confident about the rice seeds Tzu Chi distributes.
80% of the mung bean seeds Tzu Chi distributed last year sprouted. I think Tzu Chi distributes good seeds. Therefore, I'm quite confident. I look forward to receiving the rice seeds this year.
A village chief also took the initiative to sign up as a volunteer.
Seeing an organization that helps people in need and gives people the feeling of family, I'm very happy. Therefore, I want to join them to help as well.
A local official from the Ministry of Agriculture not only leads the volunteers to have a tour of the rice seeds warehouse, but he also read out loud a letter from Dharma Master Zheng Yan at the distribution site. Then he explained how Tzu Chi is distributing rice seeds with love and compassion. He also shared his favorite Jingzi aphorisms with everyone. As the volunteers distributed rice seeds, they've also created a ripple effect of great love. In Myanmar, as Taiwan, Malaysia, and local volunteers continue to distribute rice seeds to affected farmers, they've benefited nearly 30,000 households. At the rice seed distributions, the local volunteers overcame the long distances to help out all those in need. In the Buddhist country, Myanmar, the volunteers are singing under the gilded pagoda to welcome the farmers. We're heading into the 7th day of Tzu Chi's continuous rice seeds distributions. Over the course of 2 days, the volunteers have already distributed rice seeds to nearly 9,000 households in No Lei Pin. Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan and Malaysia, in addition to more than 100 local volunteers in Myanmar, have dedicated themselves to help out at each distribution. This female farmer has to travel for more than 100 kilometers round trip to attend this distribution event.
As long as it is Tzu Chi activities, doing good deeds, I will always come join.
A housewife from Bago has been volunteering with Tzu Chi for 4 days in the past week.
I'm very happy to come join Tzu Chi. Although I cannot make huge donations, I can form positive affinities with people by doing good deeds as a volunteer.
This volunteer from Yangon has vowed to carry out Tzu Chi's work for her entire life after coming into contact with Jingzi aphorisms.
After having the chance of meeting Dharma Master Zheng Yan, I decided to carry out Tzu Chi's work for the rest of my life. As long as I'm in Myanmar, I will do Tzu Chi's work going on home visits.
This tailor from Bago, whose father passed away when she was young, was inspired after going on Tzu Chi's home visits.
My father passed away when I was 19 years old. Therefore, I can relate to people who suffer from poverty. That is why when I see people who are from impoverished backgrounds and dealing with hardships, I really want to help them.
They cannot hold back their tears because they can empathize with the impoverished people. Doing good deeds when given the opportunity, these volunteers are just a few people among the more than 100 local volunteers.
After you finish eating the fruit, place the plastic boxes over there. Sort the garbage. I hope you will do this at home as well.
As the volunteers distributed rice seeds, they also promoted environmental protection concepts to the locals.
We hope that by sorting out the garbage and recyclables, Myanmar will become cleaner and more beautiful.
At Tzu Chi's rice seed distribution, the volunteers overcome the language barriers in order to spread a spirit of great love, while educating the residents on how there's no distance when it comes to love and compassion. In our next report, we'll meet a Tzu Chi recycling volunteer who has been through much suffering. Hsinchu Tzu Chi volunteer Ling Xingci suffered facial disfigurement due to an explosion at a factory. She once isolated herself, afraid of discrimination. Fortunately, with the encouragement of Tzu Chi volunteers, she has become optimistic and dedicated herself to recycling.
事情来得很突然一声爆炸。
The accidents happened all of a sudden. After a loud explosion sound, the chemical solution, which is corrosive, was sprayed onto my face and body. It was so painful that I could not bear with it.
那一阵刺痛让我痛到没有办法去承受。
An abrupt chemical factory explosion has led to facial disfigurement of Ling Xingci, who was less than 30 years old.
医生当宣布说可以出院，你没有危险了，但是我求他不要让我出院。
The doctor had announced that I could be discharged, but I begged him to let me stay in the hospital. I said, "Doctor, could you please restore my former look before discharging me from the hospital?" I looked at myself in the mirror and I was shocked. I was afraid that my husband would leave me, seeing my appearance. I was also afraid my children would be afraid of my look. I was afraid that other people would discriminate against me. Therefore, I locked myself in a room.
我自己就把我自己锁在房间里面关起来。
Her life has changed drastically because of this accident. After her left hand and face were disfigured, she did not dare to face the public until she met someone.
有一次去师姐家里，她
Once I went to the grocery store owned by the Tzu Chi volunteer to buy something. When she saw me, she immediately knew that I've been through a lot of hardship.
一定是有很多苦。
那时候她的神情、脸上的表情是忧郁的。
Back then, she looked depressed. I could tell immediately that she is not a happy person. Since that was the first time she went to my place, I did not ask her too much. I gradually cared for her. Then she told me she was injured by chemical solution and how she suffered tremendously.
受伤的情况，那一种苦不堪言呐。
她心里面想说，这一个人一定需要帮忙。那她就问我。
She must have thought that this person needs help. She then asked me if I would like to volunteer at the recycling station. There are many Tzu Chi volunteers at the recycling station, and they are very nice to me. When I go there, they will tell me what to do. They do not discriminate against me. Their love and care help me see hope.
完全没有，他那些关怀跟爱是让我看到希望的曙光。
Therefore, Ling Xingci has dedicated herself to recycling and become more optimistic. She even shouldered the responsibility of driving the recycling truck.
我们的站长星子师姐是付出最多啦。
As our station captain, Sister Xingci has contributed the most and gained the most. The master has said that a woman can do a man's work, while a man can become like a Superman. She's doing the man's work. She works hard quietly and carries out her promises. It is our blessings that she is volunteering at our recycling station, really.
是我们全乡民的福气呀、真的嘞。
Having participated in a sutra adaptation in 2011, Lin has learned about cause and effect.
今天的障碍一定不是别人给你的，是你
Your obstacles are not given to you by other people. It is caused because of your actions in past lives. I have learned to be grateful to this wound. Although it will stay with me for the rest of my life, I must accept it with gratitude. I need to accept this fact that I cannot change. After letting go of my worries, I feel at ease.
把所有的事情放下之后，你心里面就没有挂碍啊，清安自在啊。
Having been through suffering, she has started a new chapter of her life. She's determined to pass on the love she has received.
希望自己做一个棉被，你球丢到来，不要再弹走就好，不要弹回去。
I hope I can be like a quilt. When both or bad things come, it won't bounce back. May other people's negative thoughts and arguments stop at me. I hope to become the cushion between people and help them communicate with each other.
Bogor, Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers have been accompanying care recipients who are underprivileged. Let's meet 2 care recipients who have improved their lives with the support of Tzu Chi.
In this cozy house lives a Tzu Chi care recipient, Hurley, who used to have a comfortable life but was unable to work after he had a stroke 3 years ago. Volunteers have been caring for him for over a year. Now that his condition is better, he has opened a beverage store.
Before, his children were still in school, so Tzu Chi provided him rent and living subsidies. Later on, when he starts working, we have decreased the financial supports.
Rudy, who specializes in repairing electronic products, operates the business in his house. However, his income was unstable, so Tzu Chi has been supporting him.
I've been repairing electronic products for a while after I lost my job. But now, sometimes there's no business for a month or 2. It's hard to make a living like this.
To give thanks to Tzu Chi, Rudy goes to the recycling station to volunteer every month.
I'm happy to come here to help. I want to be able to give while receiving.
Kalau dari saya pribadi sih, saya ngerasain bahwa
no matter how much the financial support is, the Health Founders volunteers is the most meaningful act.
Kita punya bantuan walaupun itu sedikit atau banyak itu.
Jadi kita benar-benar tahu kayak.
The volunteers' companionship gave care recipients great encouragement, which is something money can't buy.
Maksudnya kita lakuin dikit aja sangat berarti buat mereka gitu loh.
Volunteers will continue to provide help to care recipients and bring them light during their moments of darkness.
Tzu Chi Great Love Campus in Manila, Philippines is undergoing a renovation. The volunteers are taking down windows and turning them into beds, which can be used in a dormitory. The volunteers need to complete 240 bed frames before the end of February, so they asked some Christian volunteers for help.
An old building in the Tzu Chi Great Love campus needs to be repaired, and these windows are not discarded after being taken down. They are sent to a factory for some touch-ups. The original idea was to use them as floor, but there is a new idea for their use.
The window frames will be used as beds. We have looked at an old model as a sample and will complete them accordingly.
We follow examples.
It is not easy to turn these recycled boards into beds. Tzu Chi volunteers can only produce 2 beds in 1 day by hand, but they have to produce 240 beds before the end of February, so they can use the beds in 20 new volunteers. Tzu Chi volunteers then found a Catholic group to help them.
This one was very good because I saw it was made of hardwood, old hardwood, and these are really the strong wood that are found in the Philippines.
These Focalair volunteers are deeply impressed by Tzu Chi's reusing these old boards. This cooperation between Buddhists and Catholics is meaningful.
As much as possible, we don't want to cut down more trees. And for these used lumbers right now, they're more precious than the new cut lumbers because these lumbers, they are there for the past 50 years.
Tzu Chi volunteers treasure everything and try to reuse them, so they can turn them into other beautiful things.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi Dialysis Center and Malaysian Ministry of Health Training Institute collaborated to hold a 3-day exchange program. During the program, the students have enriched their knowledge and gained experiences.
The process of dialysis treatment usually takes 4 hours. During the treatment, the nurses have come up with an exercising activity for the patients. While watching them, the nursing school students realize that they can actually do more for the patients.
While watching from the outside, you will think of the center as a religious venue. But after stepping inside, you realize that it is a dialysis center. Over here, the doctors and nurses consider humanistic medical care as an important approach, helping, loving, and respecting each other, moreover to remind us to be grateful at all times.
Besides learning how to serve the patients at the center, the students also pay visits to the patients' homes.
The students also came with us to pay visits to the patient's house. We believe that the home visits will help the patients to improve their health conditions.
Here, the medical staff deeply cares about the patients because they will conduct monthly home visits to understand what patients need and their family situation. For the past 3 days, I've enriched my knowledge. Now I can go back and share what I've learned with others. I wanted to care for the patients with sincerity.
Through the 3-day internship, the students were inspired by the medical staff of the dialysis center. In addition, they have found their motivation as nurses. They want to serve the patients with love and care.
In Malaysia, there's a Tzu Chi care recipient who's paralyzed due to an auto accident. Since he needs to undergo dialysis treatment, Tzu Chi volunteers have subsidized him with medical costs and living expenses. The care recipient and his mother volunteer at a recycling station to reciprocate Tzu Chi's assistance.
On January 13th of 1991, I had my first auto accident when I was 21 years old. The doctor told me that 3 people have passed away. Then on June 7th of the same year, I rode on a scooter which crashed at a gutter. The 7th, 8th, and 9th vertebrae were crushed. I became paralyzed from the chest down. I could only move my hands. When the doctor checked my kidney with ultrasound, he found out it was swollen. It did not heal after I underwent 3 surgeries. The doctor then told me, you need to accept the fact that your kidney is not functioning. It's a matter of time when you need to undergo dialysis treatment. For 16 years, I've been undergoing dialysis treatment for 3 times a week, 4 hours for each session. They did not charge me. Then they told me that Tzu Chi has been paying the cost for me.
In the beginning, Tzu Chi has subsidized part of his dialysis treatment bills and living costs. He does not have a job and his mother is not working, and they have to pay the extra cost. In the beginning, we did not have a lot to say to each other. Later, he became more optimistic and he would tell me everything.
She comes once a month to conduct home visits. I go and do recycling in the 3rd week of every month.
To be honest, I'm grateful to him. Aside from his trips to the hospitals, he would come here rain or shine. His mother helps me sweep the floor and I organize the items.
I do not do much. I simply come here to take a break. I cannot help them a lot, but I can string the oil buckets and chat with them. Originally, I did not know that the recycled materials can be sold and the money can be used to help other people.
When I go grocery shopping and get coins, I will put them in the coin bank. Tzu Chi has helped my child a lot. I can only do a little. Tzu Chi has helped us a lot. I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi and Dharma Master Zheng Yan.
As we visit him every month and chat with him, I've learned about strength from him. He has shown me that people cannot give up on themselves.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers were invited to promote recycling concepts at a local company in Kuala Lumpur. Besides encouraging the employees to reduce disposable utensil usage, the volunteers also talk about the impact of textile waste.
What did this sea turtle see? A jellyfish. The turtle thought the plastic was jellyfish, therefore he ate it.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Kuala Lumpur and Selangor are invited to promote recycling concepts to the employees of a small enterprise in Kuala Lumpur.
Actually, we bought eco-friendly utensils for employees. We thought during lunch breaks we can use them to go out and eat with. The employees thought it was inconvenient to bring the eco-friendly utensils for lunch. They thought, why not use the disposable utensils instead? So today we're here to tell them more about the benefits of using eco-friendly utensils.
In order to save the earth, we need to stop using plastic bags. The volunteer encourages the employees to use eco-friendly utensils.
The climate change is an issue that we can't ignore anymore. You can actually see the impact of global warming as the weather is getting harder and the air quality is getting worse. I have a runny nose all the time and it keeps on sneezing. I can feel the air pollution is becoming more severe. The second largest polluter is clothing. The first polluter is plastics, and clothing comes in second.
The 5 R's of zero waste are promoted as well. The volunteer wanted to increase the employees' environmental awareness.
The process of recycling is not as easy as it seems. After you recycle your old clothes, they will be taken to the recycling station. However, the procedure of sorting through the clothing takes a lot of manpower.
In addition, the volunteer taught them how to remember different types of recyclables. He hopes the employees can take actions to reduce carbon footprints.
DaAi Technology has been upholding its mission of protecting the earth by making fabrics from recycled PET bottles. They later turned this into useful fashion. An emphasis is put upon classic Chinese styles.
Tzu Chi volunteers are smartly dressed in a qipao-inspired blouse, which is elegant traditional Chinese style paired with a knee-length skirt.
It's not just comfortable, but also cool and can protect the earth.
When designing Chinese style, a Chinese style collar is a major feature.
Chinese style clothes are generally not so adaptable. When you open the collar, it is a very different style. The sleeve length usually must be over the elbow. Even in the summer, this is polite. And the skirt must go to the calf. Otherwise, it lifts up when you sit down or go up the stairs. This is the best length.
These classic designs aren't just fashionable, but also very functional.
According to Dharma Master Zheng Yan's teachings, clothes are also a blessing, and we should respect and care for ourselves.
The materials of this clothing are made from recycled PET bottles, with the color also based on these bottles with no dye, making them environmentally friendly.
All of my clothes are made from PET bottles. Even my underwear, when I sweat, it won't stick to my body.
Clothing is not just for appearance sake, such as a suitable suit, but can also express humanity and overcome some of the challenges of fast fashion.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi Malacca chapter has inaugurated its first environmental education exhibition. On the first day, 240 visitors learn about environmental protection through various activities. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.